You're listening live there to Pope Francis speaking in Kinshasa, DR Congo, about the unrest in the east of the country. He spoke there about the brutal atrocities in the region and called for an end to the violence. Well, listening to that with me was our foreign editor, Angela Diffley. And Angela, how significant do you think it was what the Pope said today, and what do you think he's trying to achieve by going at all?
Well, he must be only too aware that those people perpetrating the violence are unlikely to stop because he has given a speech about it. It says much more about the Pope than perhaps what's likely to transpire in that region of the world. This is a Pope who has paid a lot less attention to how people lead their sex lives and much more attention to poverty and violence and conflict in the world. He's 86 now, and he is keen to concentrate on areas and issues which really matter to him. And don't forget, these people, these 60 people who he is addressing, are survivors of the violence in that part of the world. He had hoped to go to Goma to visit them. Most of them have been displaced because of the violence there, but because of the security situation and because of his own ill health issues, they have come to him. So these 60 people, it appears, have decided that they would like to pledge forgiveness for the violence they have suffered. So he's speaking to a particular audience here. But I think it says very much about the kind of Pope he would like to be remembered as. He is nearing probably the end of his time, and his wish to try to connect with people who have suffered. And for these people, it will be enormously important to be there in person with the Pope. This is a country where half of the population of about 100 million, about half of those are Catholic. The Catholic Church is seen as an independent institution in this part of the world, one which stands up to strong men and leaders. And so he is speaking to an audience which care very much about what he says. As to the wider implications in the region, he must know that it's unlikely to make a difference.
Well, just remind us then, Angela, what it is that's actually happening in that part of eastern Congo, in the North Kivu province, for example.
Yeah, this part of the world has for centuries been the scene of violence, and underlying usually the violence is the fact that it is enormously rich in terms of natural resources. There is gold, there are diamonds, there is cobalt, coltan, both of those extremely important now. Cobalt in the making of batteries for electric vehicles, so that is increasingly a prized natural resource. It has enormous natural resources, and that underlies a lot of the conflict. Another reason is that neighbouring Rwanda accuses DRC of sheltering some of the perpetrators of the 1994 Rwandan genocide. And DRC says Rwanda uses that as an excuse to back militia within DRC, but really intends to try to take control of some of DRC's natural resources. So you have the M23, which is a group which tries to, which is a rebel militia in DRC. DRC says Rwanda backs that group. Rwanda maintains that DRC backs militias in its country which are trying to foment unrest. You also have a clash between farming communities, herders and people who are land farmers. There is a clash there. And we also now have some Islamist violence as well. So this is an area of immense conflict.
Angela Diffley, our foreign editor, thank you very much indeed for your analysis after we listened there live to Pope Francis speaking in Kinshasa.